opening an invitation to the journey. As we begin this moment together, I invite you to take a deep, steady breath and allow the words that follow to settle gently into your awareness. We're about to walk the path of the Explorer Archetype, moving through subtle landscapes where metaphysics blends with quantum mechanics and quantum physics, unveiling hidden layers of your own potential. This is an invitation to move beyond the limits of what you already know and recognize that reality is far more expansive, alive, and responsive than it might first appear. Before we go any further, I want to ask something simple, yet profoundly powerful. Like this video and subscribe to the channel. When you take that step, you're not only supporting this work, you're sending out a clear signal in the quantum field, declaring your intention to grow. Every conscious action carries a vibrational signature that ripples through the universe, drawing clarity, guidance, and new opportunities toward you. By engaging, you strengthen your own expansion while helping others discover content that can truly transform their lives. Picture yourself walking through a quiet forest that gradually opens, sunlight filtering softly through the leaves. Each step you take is an act of observation. You choose to look, and what was hidden begins to reveal itself. In quantum physics, the observer is an essential part of the phenomenon. When we apply that perspective to the Explorer Archetype, we see that the search for answers is not just an outer movement, it's a conscious practice that shapes the very fabric of reality. There was a season in my own life when this archetype guided me silently. I remember nights when, even tired, I felt a quiet inner call to keep studying, to investigate, to cross into invisible territories of knowledge. It was as if an inner compass was pointing me toward horizons I had yet to understand, urging me to trust questions that didn't yet have answers. That impulse, present in all of us, is the first sign that the explorer is already alive, waiting for room to express itself. Perhaps you felt it too, when you signed up for a challenging class, or when you stepped out of your routine to travel alone, immersing yourself in unfamiliar cultures. The explorer isn't defined by physical movement alone. It's the courage to approach the mystery with openness. When that courage meets a vibrational understanding of life, every choice becomes a creative collapse in the web of possibilities surrounding you, carving a path toward new realities. In this journey, we let the language of metaphysics open doors to profound insights, while the principles of quantum physics provide structure and clarity for our understanding. Together, we learn how to align mind, emotion, and vibration, so the Explorer Archetype can become a true ally in expanding your awareness. Take another deep breath, adjust your posture, and let yourself arrive fully here. The inner adventure is only just beginning. Foundations of the Archetype and the Field of Possibilities. The Explorer. Archetype is born from the soul's most intimate impulse, the longing to discover. It refuses to settle for prepackaged answers. Its very essence vibrates with excitement at the threshold of the unknown, inviting us to open doors that the rational mind hesitates to cross. Carl Jung described archetypes as structuring forces of the collective unconscious, shaping how we perceive and act. When we choose to heed the explorer's call, we align that timeless force with the unique vibration living within us, allowing new internal maps to slowly emerge. In the language of quantum physics, this impulse mirrors the principle of superposition. Before any decision is made, countless possibilities coexist in an invisible expanse, waiting for the observer's gaze to define a path. The explorer moves exactly there, dancing among probabilities, sustaining the courage to remain open until the highest truth reveals itself. By holding this posture, we create bridges between what we already know and what is still waiting to be born inside us. When we understand reality as a vast vibrational field, we begin to see that every quest sends out ripples that resonate in the surrounding space. Each sincere question emits a subtle signal capable of reorganizing the quantum fabric around us. That's why so often when you devote time and focus to investigate something with genuine attention, unexpected coincidences arise. Books seem to fall off shelves, the right people appear at the right time, solutions arrive in dreams. The explorer doesn't dismiss these moments as luck. They are signs of the universe responding to the quiet motion of your inner world. I recall a period when I immersed myself deeply in studies about consciousness and energy. Each evening felt like entering a silent laboratory where I would connect classic metaphysical texts with scientific articles on quantum entanglement. I wasn't only after intellectual knowledge. I wanted to experience in my very body what it meant to be part of a larger field. Insights didn't arrive all at once. They appeared in flashes, as if tiny particles of light were slowly gathering to form a coherent picture. That rhythm, steady, patient, and alive, is the explorer's heartbeat. You can nurture this same quality in your own life. Choose a subject that ignites a genuine spark in you, something that makes your heart race with curiosity. Dedicate a small portion of your day to reading about it, writing reflections, or practicing activities that bring you closer to that universe. Notice how, when you declare your interest with consistency, fresh information seems to surface out of nowhere. This isn't coincidence. It's reality adjusting to the frequency of your investigative gaze. Or to truly understand the Explorer archetype is to realize that adventure doesn't rely only on distant travel. It also depends on the willingness to keep alive a central question. What else is there to see, to sense, to live? When that question vibrates inside us, we become conduits through which the quantum field can present unprecedented possibilities. In that fertile space, we begin to co-create experiences aligned with the expansion of awareness, weaving bridges between ancient wisdom and the discoveries of modern science. The courage to advance and the role of the observer. Courage is the explorer's fuel. Without it, the desire to discover remains a distant dream, trapped at the edge of inertia. Yet courage in this context isn't the absence of fear. It's the deliberate choice to walk through it, step by steady step. Each movement toward the unknown activates an inner dialogue between vulnerability and strength. On that delicate frontier, we encounter the role of the observer, a central idea in quantum physics, showing how focused attention shapes the outcome of every experience we live. When we decide to look beyond appearances, we become co-authors of what we perceive. The explorer understands that perception is never neutral. It actively participates in weaving the fabric of reality. Just as a scientist adjusts a microscope lens to bring hidden details into focus, you can adjust the focus of your own awareness, bringing subtle aspects of life into view. This practice turns the ordinary world into a living laboratory, where each gesture can reveal the quiet dance between energy, matter, and meaning. It's natural to feel apprehensive when stepping into uncharted territory. I felt that same tension when I first chose to share reflections about metaphysics and quantum mechanics in a public space. For a long time, I feared that such profound ideas might be misunderstood or dismissed as impractical. Yet when I embraced that risk, I found that clarity grows in those willing to be channels. The explorer within me nudged past my comfort zone, reminding me that truth blossoms only when it meets fertile ground in lived experience. You too can train this courageous perspective. Try observing a challenging situation in your life from a completely new angle, as if you were a traveler arriving in an unfamiliar city. Instead of fixating on the difficulty, view it as a phenomenon still forming, waiting to be understood. That shift in stance changes your vibration, opening paths that once seemed invisible. This is the essence of the quantum gaze, a state of presence that unlocks solutions waiting just beyond your usual field of view. In metaphysics, moving forward is often described as crossing veils of perception, revealing subtler layers of existence. When you choose to take even a small step ahead, you are signaling to the universe your readiness to receive insight. Energy responds to the clarity of your motion. The explorer knows that learning is not simply about reaching a destination. It lives in the process of walking, staying open to lessons hidden in every curve of the road. So keep alive within yourself the impulse to go further. Courage, aligned with the observer's awareness, transforms each moment into a creative possibility. When we dare to cross inner thresholds, we activate the fine mechanics of life, the subtle structures that respond to the frequencies of our heart and mind. In that state of openness, the explorer's vibrational journey becomes a tangible path, one capable of expanding awareness and unveiling horizons you never imagined were waiting. The inner map, exploring emotions and frequencies. Within every human being lies an invisible map, drawn from emotions, memories, and subtle frequencies. The Explorer Archetype invites us to decode this inner territory, reminding us that the most transformative paths are not always out in the world, but often hidden inside. Emotions act as compasses, pointing toward places where awareness is calling for attention. When we learn to honor those signals, we begin reading the vibrational cartography of our own soul, tracing contours that guide us toward deeper understanding. Quantum physics helps us see that every emotion carries a distinct energetic signature. States such as joy, gratitude, and courage radiate frequencies that interact with the quantum field of possibilities, increasing the likelihood of experiences aligned with that resonance. Heavier states are not enemies but gateways to information. They reveal beliefs and patterns ready to be transformed when illuminated by consciousness. The explorer knows each feeling is a clue, a breadcrumb leading us through the journey of self-discovery. I remember a time when I needed to chart my own feelings to understand creative blocks. Instead of suppressing uncomfortable emotions, I chose to treat them as encrypted messages. I wrote about them, studied their textures, and allowed them to express themselves without judgment. Over time, I realized the answers I was seeking weren't outside, but hidden in the very act of welcoming and decoding what my inner field was trying to say. That practice sharpened my perception and prepared me to help others navigate their own searches. You can bring this into your daily life in simple yet profound ways. Set aside a few quiet minutes each day. Close your eyes and notice what you're feeling. Name each emotion, picturing it as a point of light on an internal map. Ask yourself, what is this sensation trying to show me? Approaching your inner state with curiosity shifts your vibration, allowing energy that once felt stagnant to move again. The explorer learns that every frequency carries an invitation to grow, if we are willing to listen with presence. In metaphysics, emotions are described as bridges between thought and the reality that eventually takes form. They translate the universe's subtle language, revealing how closely we are aligned with our purpose. When we treat feelings as navigational coordinates, we can steer our lives onto routes more faithful to the essence we wish to express. It's delicate work, yet profoundly liberating, returning creative responsibility for the journey to the one who walks it. Exploring the inner map is therefore an indispensable part of the explorer's vibrational journey through the landscapes of quantum physics. The explorer understands that adventure is not confined to intellectual study alone. It also requires the bravery to look inward, to comprehend personal frequencies, and to choose, consciously, which ones will sustain the next stage. Here, science and ancestral wisdom meet, forming a compass able to guide steady steps toward broader horizons of awareness. Synchronicities and the call of the unknown. As the explorer moves forward, subtle signs begin to surface along the path. Small coincidences that seem to arrange events with an almost magical precision. Psychology calls these moments synchronicities. Quantum physics describes them as patterns emerging from the field of possibilities when focused attention and vibration fall into harmony. For anyone cultivating presence, these signals stop appearing as random accidents and instead become guiding lights, pointing toward the directions where the soul longs to travel. Synchronicities arrive as invitations. They might reveal themselves through the glance of someone crossing your path, a phrase you happen to read at just the right moment, or an unexpected event that answers, with uncanny accuracy, a silent question in your heart. The explorer understands that when we align with purpose, the universe collaborates in subtle choreographies. Each detail seems to carry a message, reminding us there is a constant dialogue between our inner world and the invisible fabric of reality. In my own journey, I have lived through many of these episodes. I recall a day when, reflecting on a difficult project, I found a card lying on the ground with a sentence that spoke directly to what I had been seeking. I could have walked past it, but I chose to read it as a quiet message, and that decision led me to paths I could never have foreseen. Such experiences teach us that life enjoys participating in our story when we remain open to its intelligent flow, allowing guidance to arrive in the most unexpected forms. You can invite this into your own life with simple, practical steps. When you feel surrounded by uncertainty, pause for a moment, take a slow breath, and ask inwardly for clarity. Then observe what begins to unfold: a conversation, a subtle inner sensation, a symbol in your surroundings. The key is to remain available, free from anxious grasping, trusting that answers arrive in perfect timing. This state of relaxed presence generates a vibrational field that allows reality to reorganize itself in resonance with your intention. In metaphysics, the call of the unknown is seen as an echo from the creative source itself, urging us to widen our frontiers. Quantum physics parallels this to the collapse of the wave function. When consciousness focuses on a single possibility, it solidifies into an event. Each synchronicity is a reminder that the universe is responsive to the quality of our attention, opening doors that once stood hidden beyond the edges of perception. So, allow yourself to trust the signals rising on your horizon. They are not shortcuts designed to spare you effort, but gentle guides aligning your steps with the rhythm of a larger life. The explorer learns to move between the visible and the unseen, realizing that the unknown is not an abyss, but an invitation to dive into the vast ocean of potential, where the most luminous discoveries quietly await those brave enough to look. Turning the quest into living experience. The most decisive moment for the explorer arrives when they realize that their quest cannot remain only at the conceptual level. Knowledge, if it is to create genuine expansion, must become a living experience. It isn't enough to simply read about vibration, metaphysics, or quantum physics. These ideas must be felt, applied, and woven into daily life. The adventure becomes real when every insight finds a place in practice, building bridges between theory and reality and rooting wisdom in the body, the senses, and the rhythm of ordinary hours. Here, the role of the observer grows deeper. Each time you act in harmony with a new understanding, your attention collapses probabilities and opens fresh pathways. Choosing to meditate at the start of the day, for instance, isn't a neutral gesture. It's a vibrational code that shapes how the rest of your hours unfold. When that act is repeated with presence, your mind and body learn to sustain higher frequencies, allowing ideas, solutions, and opportunities aligned with them to arise more naturally. I experienced this myself when I began integrating studies on quantum fields into my daily routine. I set aside a few quiet minutes to settle, breathe, and picture my body as part of a luminous network. Over time, I noticed subtle shifts, greater clarity in decision-making, a deeper sense of connection between intentions and results, and a quiet confidence, as if reality itself was responding to the commitment I had made to what I was learning. That gentle reciprocity strengthened my trust in the process. You can start this right now in simple yet powerful ways. Choose a practice that resonates with your heart. Perhaps writing reflections at dawn, walking mindfully in nature, or simply closing your eyes for a moment to visualize your energy field. Do it not as a mechanical ritual, but as a conscious act, remembering that each movement of focused attention reorganizes the invisible threads of your surroundings. Experience is born the instant theory meets the body, the gesture, the breath. Metaphysics teaches us that human beings are points of convergence between subtle dimensions and the material world. Quantum physics confirms that our observation participates in the unfolding of events. When we grasp this, we see that turning a quest into lived experience is activating the very laboratory of existence, stepping into life as both traveler and creator, aware that we are active participants in the cosmic dance, sustaining the universe. So give yourself permission to practice what you learn. Apply the concepts, even imperfectly. It is through experimentation that awareness expands and vibration stabilizes at higher levels. The explorer knows that living is the purest form of understanding. Each step taken with presence inscribes new codes in the quantum field, clearing space for a reality that mirrors with growing precision the essence already alive within you. Persistence and alignment with purpose. Persistence is a quiet yet essential quality along the explorer's path. It sustains the initial enthusiasm even when results have not yet appeared. Just as particles continue moving even in the seeming emptiness of space, your determination must remain active, nourishing the vibration that upholds your goals. The inner journey is not made only of quick revelations, but of steady constancy that gradually shapes new structures within the quantum field, allowing them to solidify through time. In quantum physics, we learn that systems stabilize when coherence develops among the forces that compose them. In the same way, when you hold your values and purpose in alignment with your actions, you create an inner state of coherence that supports the manifestation of experiences attuned to your intentions. Persistence is not stubbornness. It is a lucid commitment to the direction your soul recognizes as authentic. It is standing firm, even during silent stretches of the road when progress is not yet visible. There were seasons in my own studies of consciousness when I faced external resistance. Skeptical comments or the weight of daily responsibilities threatened to scatter my focus. But remembering that every coherent thought fed a larger field, I found strength to continue. Persistence became a stable vibration, a quiet beacon drawing circumstances compatible with the intention I was carrying. The explorer learns that constancy possesses a creative power often underestimated by those who abandon the quest too soon. You can cultivate this capacity by setting small, meaningful goals each day. Choose practices connected to your purpose. Reading a few paragraphs of an inspiring book, writing down insights, meditating, or walking with mindful presence. Even modest actions strengthen inner alignment, and that alignment keeps the bridge between intention and reality alive. To persist is to reaffirm day after day that your commitment to the path is stronger than the distractions clamoring for your attention. In metaphysics, persistence is linked to the vibration of trust, a frequency that upholds creative flow, even during the most demanding phases. Each time you hold clear purpose in view, you reinforce the link between your inner field and the opportunities moving in your direction. It is as though you are saying to the universe, "I know where I want to go, and I am willing to remain present until the way reveals itself." That quiet statement of readiness carries immense energetic weight. Thus, alignment and persistence form the ground on which the explorer places each step. They merge passion with discipline, intuition with structure, producing a steady vibration able to traverse uncertainty. When you walk with this calm strength, you become a point of coherence in the quantum field, and reality responds to that steadiness with clarity and expansion. In that state, the greatest revelations draw near, waiting to be embraced by those who remain faithful to their calling. The wisdom of pauses and silence. Sooner or later, every explorer learns that not all progress comes from constant movement. There are moments when the greatest growth appears only after we choose to pause, breathe, and truly listen. Pauses are not interruptions, but fertile intervals where the quantum field reorganizes information and quietly offers new answers. Silence, in this sense, becomes a powerful ally. A space where vibration and awareness weave together, revealing fresh layers of meaning waiting to be understood. Quantum physics teaches us that systems need moments of stability to consolidate patterns. Likewise, our minds and hearts benefit when we intentionally slow the pace. The attentive explorer notices that silence creates a channel for intuition to emerge unclouded by noise. In those gentle gaps, insights take shape because attention is no longer scattered. It gathers, focusing on what longs to be expressed. Conscious rest is not idleness, but a mechanism that expands perception and clarifies direction. On my own path, I found immense value in creative pauses. There were days when, after long hours of study, I felt an urge to step outside, away from books and screens. It was in those quiet instants, gazing at the sky, or watching leaves dance in the breeze, that ideas connected like pieces of an unseen puzzle. I learned that silence acts as a catalyst. It organizes what once seemed fragmented, returning clarity and a deeper sense of coherence to the mind and heart. You can cultivate this quality by deliberately creating small sanctuaries of stillness. It might be a brief meditation, a few minutes without digital noise, or simply observing your own breathing. The key is to allow life's natural flow to have space to speak. Even the simplest practice shifts your vibrational state, inviting insights to arrive with greater lightness. The explorer comes to understand that pausing is an act of trust in the intelligence quietly permeating everything. In metaphysics, silence is often described as a portal linking the soul to universal wisdom. It dissolves the illusion of separation, reminding us that we belong to a larger whole. When we honor such moments, we collaborate with subtle forces that transcend the intellect, allowing higher solutions to present themselves gracefully. Silence is fertile ground where seeds of comprehension germinate, waiting to bloom at just the right time in our awareness. Embracing pauses and silence is, therefore, an expression of spiritual maturity. The explorer realizes that sometimes the bravest step is to slow down enough to hear what life whispers in nearly imperceptible notes. This interior space, free of urgency, strengthens the vibration of clarity and gently prepares the way for new revelations. Silence, far from being empty, is the cradle where the next level of consciousness begins to take shape. Integration and vibrational coherence. At a certain point on the journey, the explorer realizes that all the knowledge gathered must be integrated. True transformation doesn't arise solely from brilliant ideas, but from the ability to weave them into a coherent flow of living. Integration is the moment when theory, emotion, and action find harmony, creating a stable vibrational state that supports new horizons of awareness. In this balance, learning stops being fragmented and begins to pulse as living wisdom, steady and luminous within us. Quantum physics shows that systems achieve higher efficiency when they enter coherence, adjusting frequencies until every component resonates in synergy. Likewise, when we align thoughts, feelings, and actions, we generate a personal field of coherence. This organized vibration strengthens intentions and clears a pathway for more precise synchronicities. The explorer understands that integration is not about hoarding information, but about giving every discovery its rightful place inside, where it can contribute to an inner architecture of meaning. From my own experience, I noticed that integration often arrived after periods of intense study and practice. It was in moments of quiet, sitting still, and letting everything I had read, lived, and felt settle into a new order that deeper clarity would emerge. I didn't have to force understanding. I simply trusted that knowledge had already been imprinted in the deeper layers of consciousness. From there, insights surfaced naturally, revealing a tapestry of significance that once seemed scattered. You can bring this wisdom into your life through simple rituals designed to consolidate learning. After finishing a book or completing a course, set aside time to reflect on how its content speaks to your own story. Write about it, discuss it, or practice the element that resonated most with you. Such intentional action transforms raw information into accessible energy, making the quantum field more responsive to what you aim to manifest. Integration is the bridge between absorbing and truly living knowledge. In metaphysics, vibrational coherence is described as the frequency produced when purpose and expression align. When a person lives in accord with their inner truth, they emit a steady wave that influences environments, people, and circumstances alike. The explorer recognizes that their personal field is a creative agent, capable of reorganizing reality when it operates in harmony with itself. This perception lends maturity to choices and a calm steadiness when facing challenges, grounding vision in trust. Integrating the path you have walked prepares fertile ground for the discoveries still to come. Vibrational coherence is not a final stop, but a state that allows you to move forward with greater clarity and ease. By uniting every piece of experience, the explorer becomes a more whole being, able to navigate the landscapes of quantum physics and metaphysics with a heart aligned and a mind serene, ready to welcome new chapters of expansion waiting just beyond the present horizon. Closing and final invitation. As we reach the end of this journey together, we see that the Explorer archetype is far more than a metaphor. It is a living state of consciousness pulsing quietly within every human being. It reminds us that reality is a vast field, always ready to respond to the quality of our attention. Every choice, every act of courage, every moment of inhabited silence opens new pathways in the quantum network that sustains us. The adventure does not end here. It becomes a living presence, guiding your next steps with a steady, luminous hand. Looking back, we can see the landscapes we've crossed, both inner and outer, as we learn to honor signs, integrate emotions, persist in purpose, and cultivate creative pauses. Quantum physics and metaphysics have joined forces to show us that life is much more than a linear series of facts. It is an ongoing dialogue between consciousness and possibility. The explorer, upon recognizing this, learns to live with greater delicacy and intention, trusting that the universe cooperates with those who align with their most authentic call. In my own path, I've discovered that the act of sharing these teachings is transformative for me as well. Each word spoken is a reminder to keep investigating, to remain loyal to the essence that moves me. This exchange between speaker and listener creates a shared field where both can grow. Knowledge does not belong to those who hoard it, but to those who live it and offer it as a beacon for other travelers seeking their own horizons. Now, you carry precious seeds from this experience. Allow them to flourish by applying what touched your heart the most. Watch how your vibration shifts the moment you choose to act in harmony with the principles resonating here. Small gestures, practiced with awareness, can create ripples that extend far beyond your own life, radiating clarity and encouragement to everyone who crosses your path. If this content has brought light to your journey, remember to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who might benefit. These actions are not mere visible support. They expand the quantum field of this message, allowing more people to encounter teachings that invite awakening. Each conscious click is an act of generosity, sustaining a network of collective growth and resonance. And so, we close this episode with gratitude and quiet hope. May you continue forward with the gaze of someone who knows that life is an infinite landscape, always ready to unveil new vistas when the inner explorer stays awake. Keep observing, sensing, experimenting, and let each step remind you that you actively participate in the vibrational dance weaving the universe. The path is open, and the next discovery is already waiting for you. And so, see you in the next video, with more information on everything that involves growing, evolving, transforming, and manifesting. See you soon.